Week to week, we learn about investing tax efficiently from the Farwell Group. Either Darren Farwell or Leslie McCormick joins us, and we talk money matters. And I, for one, have learned an awful lot. And this morning, Darren Farwell is with us. So good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn.
So last Saturday, Leslie McCormick of your team told us about her new book, Why Every Woman Should Plan to Be Financially Single, even if she's not. And I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting a copy of the book in April. But what do you have for us today?
Well, Marilyn, look, it's not part of our happy stories, but it is just a fact that with the average baby boomer female is outliving her male counterpart by 10 to 15 years these days. And so one of the reasons why women would become, and men become single, is because they end up becoming a widow. And if you are a widow and would like help with what's going to be an overwhelming amount of stuff to deal with, feel free to call and speak with me. Me and my team, the Farwell Group, have a process and tools designed specifically with the needs of widows in mind. Now, Marilyn, over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to share with you some of Gloria's story. Gloria is now 87. Her husband passed away when she was 83. Now, Gloria managed with her sons the whole process of the funeral and of the estate themselves. However, as time passed, two things began to get her attention. Number one, Gloria noticed that her portfolio wasn't producing as much income as it used to. So she was using more of the cushion, that, extra emergency money that you generally have stocked away. And she was using more of that month after month. And the account was getting, for her, nervously low. So she wanted to figure out what was happening, like what had changed. Because if her income remained too low, she would have to dip into her capital, and that increases the chances of her outliving her savings. The second thing that was making Gloria's ears perk up was the talk that she heard from her friends about death taxes. Gloria didn't recall much in the way of taxes when her husband passed away, and that's largely because the tax burden on the death of one spouse with a surviving spouse is generally pretty low. However, it's critical to check with your own professional advisor to understand your specific circumstances. However, on death of the second, there is generally much more tax triggered, in particular probate fees and deemed disposition. So Gloria came to see me because she felt there were too many gaps in what she knew. So she was proactive and intentional on learning and getting up to speed. And, I have to admit, it really felt great to be there with Gloria, 87 years old, going out of her way to get up to speed. So we met at a bank branch near her home for 45 minutes. This morning, I'll share the first of Gloria's concern. Her regular income was declining. Next week, I'll discuss her second concern, the dreaded death tax. So, why was Gloria's regular income declining? We identified two reasons after some discussion and a review of her account statements. Number one of Gloria's husband's pensions, not a big one, but not nothing either, well, it had stopped making payments. And looking into it, I found that his plan had only a 3-year guarantee period after his death. And that pension had been auto-paid into Gloria's checking account, and she actually hadn't noticed that it stopped. So there was a little source of income there that she was missing. Number two, Gloria's investment account had a significant number of high-quality bonds that were purchased a long time ago. As those bonds came due in recent years, the interest rate she got on those bonds was much lower. She had bonds that were paying her 6% that came due and were reinvested at 2%. Clearly, her income was in decline, forcing her to dip increasingly into her savings and increasing the possibility of her outliving her money. So we worked on her investment mix. We added some higher income, more tax-efficient investments to her portfolio, not significantly riskier, just paying a little bit more, and importantly, more tax-efficient. After all, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So working together, we have Gloria's income back to where she doesn't have to dip into her savings. And in Gloria's own words, she says she sleeps better at night knowing that.
You should write a book about sleeping better at night. Gloria's story is one that a lot of people don't realize. They figure if they have X number of dollars and they're invested, they're safe. But it's not just one road to get to the place you want to be. There are many highways, and some of them are more lucrative than others. I've learned that from you, Darren. So I'm glad you're able to help Gloria. If someone in the audience is listening and maybe in the similar position, they're worried about and losing sleep because they're thinking their money is not going to last for their lifetime and they really want some help. Can we speak to you today?
Yes, I'd be glad to take calls. My number is 416-863-7501. And there certainly, we're seeing it year after year. This life expectancy, particularly for women these days, is increasing. So I am seeing myself more a concern out there for people wondering whether or not they're going to outlive their money.
Well, my clients now reach the age of 101, and my own Aunt Sadie lived to 104. So a lot of people reaching that number 100 mark, and they want to live comfortably as well. So if you have questions for Darren or the Farwell Group 416-863-7501 is the number. Protect your future. Be proactive. Take a lesson from Gloria's story. At 87, she was right. Her income was declining, but there are ways and means of fixing it. And the ways and means of fixing it means asking a financial advisor that knows the right path and can be your GPS. So I'll give you your number out again, Darren, 416-863-7501. And I look forward to hearing part 2 of Gloria's story next weekend.
I'm looking forward to coming back with part 2 myself, Marilyn.
Thank you.